Yo, man. What's going on? This, right now, we going back in the past, man. We talking about my $10 prints, man. $10 prints, bro. That's what we're talking about right now, $10 prints. They available, again, they're available on thankyoutheoprod.com. But, yeah, what I want to do, I just want to, go to certain images and kind of explain some of the images, what was going on when I took that picture, like the meaning of the name and stuff like that. As I said before, like when I started doing, taking the pictures for the marketplace catalogs, it was like therapeutic, meditative, you know what I'm saying? But you see an image and it kind of reminds you of something, then you name it something. So it's like kind of my process of going through. But not every image is as deep as I'm making it. But some of them, really mean something different. So, or mean something, and that's the point, I got into landscape photography trying to turn like inanimate objects into something worthy of putting on the wall. So that's just like the my goal with taking these type of landscape pictures, kind of turning something that is necessarily regular into something that could be, kind of like limit exclusive kind of. But yeah, we just gonna jump right into it. So let's get to it. All right, let's do it, man. Jumping into this first image. We jumping into this first image, man. I just burped like 3 times. We jumped into this first image. A song dropped today. I'm gonna play the song that kind of, made me think of this image today. Meek Mill, Nightmares to Dreams, the song hard too. I just listened to this. This should just drop down what they say on YouTube. Dropped 3 hours ago. I'm talking Nightmares to Dreams, also known as 63rd. This picture was taken September 2025, so it's from 25 miles per hour. What's the main subject of it is the street sign 63rd. It was taken in New Jersey, Gutenberg, New Jersey, I believe. It was taken there. But, it was weird when I went to take this picture because I went on a trip for work. And, it was a build up like this 2025, from I want to say, either May or June, all the way to kind of September, October, really. I was traveling every month for just work, and it was something I kind of wanted to do, and I had spoke about that. But on this specific trip, we're in New Jersey, we got time before we had to go do what we got to do. I go on a walk, you know what I'm saying, go take some pictures. I got to take pictures. I'm in a different city. I want to get some landscape images. And while I'm walking, I see this street sign, 63rd Street, and I'm just thinking in my head like this crazy because this also the street sign I saw growing up as a kid, you know what I'm saying? That's where I grew up at in Chicago, all 63rd Street. So it's just like, I'm looking at it from a different perspective when I see that street sign, especially in the area I was in, the skyline of New York right across the river. So I'm just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? The reason I say Nightmares to Dreams because it's like, of course, it's from that 63rd to the 63rd in the picture, but it was just kind of like, trying to spread light on the fact that I kind of had to kind of dream that situation up, even from all the way back then, like when I was like a kid, from when I was seeing that street sign, I'm the whole time seeing that street sign, I'm like, I don't even want to be on that street. You know what I'm saying? I want to do something different. And then, from all the way from there to there, I done made it to a whole different 63rd. And granted, I'd have been to plenty other places, and I'd have been in plenty other, great situations. But it was just like the symbolism that kind of correlated with my life, that street sign, and that moment, because that moment was also kind of crazy. It was like a big moment for me, and it gave me a lot of confidence in my abilities to use the camera and stuff. So it was just like, you know, I turned those like, because, you know, coming from like certain places, you know, it's not always expected that you can even do something as simple as like travel across the country for a video gig. You get what I'm saying? And granted, it wasn't even that crazy of a gig, but you know, it was working with some cool people, some major people. So it was just like, you know, like you made it from this little situation all the way to what this is now. So it's like, and then seeing that Meek Mill song pop up, I'm like, dang, I got a picture named that. But like, you know, that just kind of just it gave me a boost, you know. Like this picture, it mean a lot to me. Kind of like it just gave me a boost, you know, and that's why I named it Nightmares to Dreams. Like, especially even though in the picture, you know what I'm saying, we got the like it's heavy shadow on the right of the image, and this bright, nice little light on the left of the image. It's still like Nightmares to Dreams to me, because it's like, you know, you don't even know what the dream is until you kind of go through that nightmare that you're supposed to be having. But yeah, so that's like, you know, I'm not trying to even be dismal with the fact of like where I grew up. It's just the fact that, like, you know, I wanted to do something that, you know, that's not typically common. And just being able to kind of do that, see the work that I was putting in from either starting all the way from 2023, you know, kind of pay off. Like, it's like, you know, especially all them nights and stuff, you just like, damn, is this shit working? Is this shit working? And then you kind of get a glimpse of light where it's like, oh shit, there go the tunnel, it's working. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at it with this image. But yeah, that's Nightmares to Dreams, 63rd. Yeah, $10 prints. It's available right now. Thank you, theoprod.com.